Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-jana Sarvaya Chakshurajambhena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sarvam Jena Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Vedanta Swapadanti Vandeham Sri Guru Sita Parakama Sri Guru Vaishnava Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagano Lalita Shri Visakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Panchakal Pataru Grashta Kripa Samyareva Cha Patitanam Pavani Vaishnavi Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasaji Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Safari 2025 Ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Hare Krishna. I didn't have anything in mind to speak. I think there is something to say in the verse.
Well, I did first canto, second chapter, verse 6, and then Bhakti Nrsimha Swami did page 7. You could continue.
First canto?
First canto, chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Text number, you could do text number 8.
Text number 8. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service, text number 8. Dharma Swanusthita Pumsam Dharma Swanusthita Pumsam Vishwaksena Kathasuya Vishwaksena Kathasuya Notpadhayet Dhira Notpadhayet Dhira Shrama eva hi kevalam Shrama eva hi kevalam Dharma swanusthita pumsam Vishwaksena kathasuya Notpadhayet Dhiratim Shrama eva hi kevalam Dharma Occupation Shanutishta executed in terms of one's own position. Pumsam of humankind. Vishwaksena, the personality of Godhead. plenary portion, Katashu, in the message of Yaha, what is, Na, not, Udpadayet, thus produce, Yadi, I, Ratim, attraction, Shramaha, useless labor, Eva, only, He, certainly, Kevalam, entirely. Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message or the personality of Godhead. Please repeat. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message or the personality of Godhead. But there are different occupational activities in terms of man's different conceptions of life. To the gross materialist, who cannot see anything beyond the gross material body, there is nothing beyond the senses. Therefore, his occupational activities are limited to concentrated and extended selfishness. Concentrated selfishness centers around the personal body. This is generally seen amongst the lower animals. Extended selfishness is manifested in human society and centers around the family, society, community, nation, and world with a view of gross bodily comfort. Above these gross materialists are the mental speculators who hover aloft in the mental space, and their occupational activities involve making poetry and philosophy or propagating some ism in the same aim of selfishness limited to the body and the mind. Above the body and the mind is a dormant spirit soul, whose absence from the body makes the whole range of bodily and mental selfishness completely null and void. But less intelligent people have no information of the needs of the spirit soul. Because foolish people have no information of the soul and how it is beyond the purview of the body and mind, they are not satisfied in the performance of their occupational activities. The question of the satisfaction of the self is raised herein. The self is beyond the gross body and subtle mind. He is a potent active principle of the body and mind. Without knowing the need of the dormant soul, one cannot be happy simply with emolument of the body and mind. The body and mind are but superfluous outer coverings of the spirit soul. The spirit soul's need must be fulfilled simply by cleansing the cage of the bird. One does not satisfy the bird. One must actually know the need of the bird himself. The need of the spirit soul is that he wants to get out of the limited space of material bondage and fulfill his desire for complete freedom. He wants to get out of the covered walls of the greater universe. He wants to see the free light and spirit. That complete freedom is achieved when he meets the complete spirit, the personality of Godhead. There is a dormant affection for God within everyone. Spiritual existence is manifested through the gross body and mind in the form of perverted affection for gross and subtle matter. Therefore, we have to engage ourselves in occupational engagement that will evoke our divine consciousness. This is possible only by hearing and chanting the divine activities of the Supreme Lord. And any occupational activity which does not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting the transcendental message of Godhead is said herein to be simply a waste of time. This is because other occupational duties, whatever ism they may belong to, cannot give liberation to the soul. Even the activities of the salvationist are considered to be useless because of their failure to pick up the fountainhead of all liberties. The gross materialist can practically see that his material gain is limited only to time and space, either in this world or in the other. Even if he goes up to the Swarga Loka, he will find no permanent abode for his hankering soul. The hankering soul must be satisfied by the perfect scientific process of perfect devotional service. Hare Krishna. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message, the personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada has given a detailed explanation to this purport. First, he has described how living entities who are dominated by desire to gratify the senses, the activities is limited to the body. Or what Bhagavad described to be Annamaya. Annamaya platform, the religion of the stomach. The whole activities is concentrated on how to take care of this body. But from experience, we have been taking care of this body since time immemorial. And not only human body, in all species of life. We have been sufficiently struggling to take care of this body in so many ways. And we can see that every individual person, especially the human beings, the struggle to take care of this body ends in having a doctor for the eyes, the doctor for the teeth, the doctor for ears, a lawyer to take care of our cases,
Doctor for the mind.
Doctor for the mind. So the whole of our struggle ends with doctor to take care of this body, the gynecologists or whatever doctors we get in this world, medical or even metaphysical doctors, astrologers are there, astronomers are there. Yet, with all their best efforts, our body continues to follow one direction, deterioration. Just like any material object you see in this material world, all the electronics, automobiles, even the buildings, they go to a certain stage and start deteriorating. You can change the part, but as you continue to change it, different parts, even these days, we are changing the bone for the back, changing differently the eyes, we are also changing the heart, and changing the livers and the kidneys, we are all changing. But the body continues to go the same direction, deterioration, until one day it is off. So, Prabhupada is explaining this is foolishness of the living entities because it is not giving any satisfaction to the soul. Superior to these low-graded ones are those who have gone above the body, the mental speculators. We are also searching in so many ways, writing poetry and speaking philosophies and making a lot of research. The mind may be pacified to some extent, but not completely. And the Gyanis, those who think that one can capture Krishna by our own ability, by intelligence. Lord Brahma already warned us that there are thousands of people who have been doing this since time immemorial, trying with the base of their mind. They have not been able to capture Lord Krishna. In one sense, all the human attempt to keep this body in order is always a failure. It has been a failure and it will remain a failure. An intelligent person should listen to this verse. It is mentioned here. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position. For all of us, the scripture has prescribed some activities for us. As a Brahmana, there's activity to perform. As a Kshatriya, there's activity to perform. Vaishya, there's activity. For Shudras and below Shudra, the activities prescribed for us to do. Either to take care of the body, or to help go to the heaven, or to help us go to Brahmaloka. The verse is saying that if by doing all these activities, and these activities do not help us to develop attraction, love for Krishna, it is all useless. Even though it is recommended in the scripture that we should do this particular activity, if we cannot do this thing to help us develop pure love for Krishna, they are said here to be a useless labor. And Prabhupada gave a detail that we should go beyond the body to look for the soul. And he mentioned about the chanting and hearing about Lord Krishna. The chanting and hearing about Lord Krishna is not chanting in the class. The chanting and hearing Prabhupada mentioned here is not japa in the class. Prabhupada did not recommend japa in the class. That is not japa because you cannot hear what they're chanting and also cannot hear the discussion. So you are like a bat. A bat is not a bird and not an animal. And it's not even loved by the animals. Even the animal circle, the bat is not a favorite animal. So the devotee is not a bat. But at least you can be one of them, either with a bird or an animal. The chanting and hearing Prabhupada recommended here is the kind of chanting that our acharyas did. I will come for a safari. What is the purpose of the safari? It's only Japata Maharaj has created this as a preaching program. It's a preaching program where we have unlimited opportunity to hear and to chant. So many in the previous safaris have attended. For the whole period, we had a lot of Ratayatra festivals, a lot of harinams, stage programs, right? Sarasakti director saying, I received her. In unlimited spiritual activities, state programs, we continue chanting like he was mentioning to us. The chanting goes from 6 in the morning to what time?
Morning 3 a.m.
Morning 3 o'clock, 3 in the morning, and he continues again because people have developed the taste for hearing and for chanting. Other external reason is that they don't have money to take a bus or whatever. But the most important thing in their life is that they are very, very eager to hear. Therefore, they are ready to make any means, any risk to take to get it so they can hear about Krishna and also to chant about Krishna. So to hear and chant about Krishna, it is a formula, and the formula has to be followed. In the Bhagavatam, second canto, first chapter, text from 11. Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Maharaj. Text 11, he's saying, he repeating what he has heard to Maharaj. It's a parampara system. And text 11, he's talking about how to chant. And he recommended we should chant the holy name as our acharyas chanted. Harinama Anu Kirtana. Harinama Anu Kirtana. Chanting as our previous acharyas chanted the holy name. This is japa. This is chanting. How our acharyas chanted. How Rupa Goswami, the Sri Goswami, how did they chant the holy name? The same Hare Krishna mantra were chanting. How did they chant? Haridas Sekura is famous and everybody like to talk about Haridas. Everybody like to hear about Haridas. And we also like to name our child Haridas Sekura. But how did he chant the holy name? The recommendation Sukadeva Goswami said, Sukadeva Goswami himself, how did he recommend chanting the holy name? How did he chant? As he recommended, how did he chant? They wanted us to chant the way they chanted. Why? Because that is a part of perfection. And if we don't chant the way they chanted, we shouldn't expect to have the same result like they had. We will get different results. Therefore, it is very, very important for all of us who are following them to do the same thing that they did. Krishna told Arjuna, this knowledge I'm giving to you, I have given to previous personality, the Son of God. The other 10 perfection by following it. Similarly, if you follow what I'm teaching you now, you get the same result which they got. Pure love for me, they develop it and gave all necessary qualities. So it's important, it's very, very important for us to do our sadhana the way our acharyas did. How do you proper chant japa? For those who are fortunate to see Prabhupada, how do you proper chant his japa? Prabhupada was chanting japa with a cell phone. So Prabhupada, you were chanting with a cell phone?
There were no cell phones.
So, but how do we expect to get the result, Srila Prabhupada and all of them got, if we are not doing the same way? And we are always told that we are Rupa Nugas. Means what? We are followers. So are we following when we chant with cell phone?
No.
Are we following when we chant in the class?
No.
Are we following when we do management in the class on the japa?
No.
So do we expect to get the same result like them? No. So we want to be a failure, we want to be a success in Krishna consciousness. Which one do we want? We want to be a success. Therefore, we should do as they did. Chanting and hearing about Krishna, proper mention here. It is the activity of the soul. It will help the soul to become free, completely free. And at the end, we will go back home, back to God. Hare Krishna. Comment? or time for prasad? Which one?
Well, somebody could say, you say that everything which doesn't bring love of Krishna is just useless. But, you make use of so many things. Everything's there in the material world, you're making use of it yourself, You can't say it's all useless, is it? Maybe that's just your opinion, that's one opinion, but somebody else may say, love of the country, we should love the country, we should love the nation, we could speak like that. Why we have to speak only Krishna?
Thank you, Maharaj, for stimulating our mind to help address our mind properly. Yes, we are using cell phone, we use it. We are using my phone, we use it. We use typewriter, proper use all these things. We should use it, but we should use them at a particular time when it is necessary. You don't use microphone when we are taking prasad. Right? So I cannot say, microphone useful. Yeah, it is useful. I want to speak, but not when taking prasad. The same way, yes, you can talk about the country, we can talk about so many other things. Yes, we should talk about them. Actually, that was even the mind of our founder, Acharya. When Prabhupada was told, when he went to see his gurus, like Bhakti Saraswati, and he was given assignment, go and preach English-speaking country, the Muslim country. Prabhupada said, India need to be delivered first. Independence is necessary. So like Bhakti Saraswati Thakur said, the Krishna consciousness and urgency. We don't need to wait for this. It is material. And when we say independence, what is independence? Independence of being free from the British rule. Is that independence? Are we independent of the detection of our senses? Are we independent? That our senses, do you notice that all conditioned souls, since ever, they won't come to Krishna consciousness, every single thing we have been doing are all detected by our senses? Is anything could have been detected by the soul in all our activities in this world except when we come to Krishna consciousness? Any one thing you can mention? Everything we do have been detected by our senses, not the soul, not the super soul. Because we don't listen to the super soul. We simply listen to what our mind tells us to do. So what is independence? What is the freedom? Freedom, independence is only meant for a liberated pure soul who is unadulterated servant of Krishna. Therefore, no intelligent person should wait for so-called independence, which is really not an independence. We should not waste our time to talk about the country. Prabhupada calls it here selfishness in 3 categories. Selfishness of this body. If the selfishness is extended, it is the country and the community, my family members, the community, the family members. And if that selfishness is extended, it's about the whole country. So it is same selfishness, not anything outside of selfishness. And even those who claim to do charity and helping conditioned souls, they are simply using us to go to heaven. It is also selfishness, not for the people which we think that we are helping. After all, I have seen in Vrindavan, people are distributing Ekadasi, grains on the Ekadasi regularly. Every Ekadasi, they have a huge quantity of grains being distributed, biscuit and tea. Is that charity? Feeding people grains on the Ekadasi. Is that charity? That is not charity. To eat one grain is very, very dangerous. What of a full bowl of grains? What is that? Unlimited pressure, we are loading our body, and someone helping us to load our body with variety of sin. And it is considered charity. That is not charity, it is selfishness. So all varieties of selfishness have been going on since time immemorial. The only charitable person, the authorized, bona fide charitable person is the Divine Grace Bhakti Swami Prabhupada, who gave us a ticket, opportunity to get out of this selfish material world, to go back home, back to God, through the process of Christian consciousness, chanting and hearing especially. Thank you.
Can I ask a question about prasadam? You said about prasadam and Ekadashi. My senior devotee in Russia, in Harinam we distribute some prasadam, and also in Ekadashi we distribute not Ekadashi sweets. And we ask, and senior devotees decide it's better because this devotee or these people don't know about Krishna, and we give them gift sweets. It's a good, but they don't know about Ekadashi. But what we need to do, follow Ekadashi in this moment or not? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you also for asking. Yes, they don't know, but when will they know? When are they going to know? Only when we tell them. Only when we show them. So we don't know many things until we come to Krishna consciousness before to know. And our duty is, I want us to repeat this slogan. All of us should repeat this slogan. I am saved.
I am saved
To save others.
to save others.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Make sense?
I'm saved.
I am saved by Srila Prabhupada to do what? To save others. It make sense?
Yes.
Our duty is to save others. As Prabhupada saved us. Not to cheat them. To teach them the right thing. Yes, you can make Ekadashi sweet and distribute that. Then you are 100% representing Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much.